May I now please invite the Honorable Minister for his keynote address, please.
President of the IMA, Sri Raj Iswaranji, Sri Anil Swarupji, Sri Vishnu Agarwalji, Sri Babu Babelji, Sri A.S. Chauhanji, Sri Sunil Misraji, members of IMA who have come from various parts of the country and also representatives of the companies who are working here, belonging to multinational companies, brothers and sisters. I indeed appreciate the Indian Electrical and Electronic Manufacturers Association for organizing this CEO's round table on empowering 100 smart cities, and I am happy to be associated with this. I came confidently because though this subject is foreign to me, electricity and electronics. But I thought my colleague Piyush should be there. Unfortunately, he could not make it because one of my colleagues had a little health problem in the night, the other colleague. So he was attending on him till the early hours in the morning. Friends, I remember the days when Vajpayee was the Prime Minister. All my colleagues have gone to the government. I was there in the party looking after the party work as General Secretary of the party. So one day PM has called me and told me, you have to come and join the government now. I said, sir, why sudden? He said, Rangaraja Kumaramangalam, who was looking after energy portfolio, so he has expired recently, so somebody from South has to be there, an important person in the cabinet, so you come and join the cabinet. So in a lighter vein, I told him, sir, why you want to de-promote me? He said, de-promotion? क्यों? क्या है de-promotion? मैंने कहा, अभी तक मैं पार्टी में देश का महामंत्री हूँ, अब मुझे मंत्री बनाना चाहते. In General Secretary in Hindi is Mahamantri. So he laughed at it. And I was afraid that he may offer me energy portfolio. I have no knowledge at all. So then I discussed with him, then he suggested 1, 2, 3 like that. We went around and then I told him, sir, none of these things, neither technology oriented nor economy oriented. Other than these two, anything else is okay. He said, you don't want any economic portfolio? I said, sir, I don't want any economic portfolio. Then at the end he asked me, what is your choice? I said, agriculture. He said, agriculture? Then he looked at it and then said, no, no, agriculture is held by Nitish Kumar. He's our ally. I can't disturb him now. Then he said, anything else? I said, then rural development. He laughed. आपने सोचा होगा? I said, yes, sir. Then he made me rural development minister. Because Mahatma Gandhi, after independence, said, he gave 2 advices. Our great leaders, of course, did not follow both the advices. One advice I don't want to discuss. First advice he gave is disband the Congress party, Congress. Because Congress was not a party. It was a movement. It was a platform for all the people to fight for independence at that time, that Congress. That was his advice. Okay, we don't discuss it now today. The other advice is, he said, is back to villages. Back to villages. He had a foresight. But unfortunately, our leaders have shown their back to villages and moved towards town. The result is now you see that this urban-rural divide. Things are fast changing. Urbanization is growing faster. It's a reality. We have to accept it. It's a challenge. We have to convert it into an opportunity. The change is coming. Even I have migrated from rural development to urban development. Choice is not mine, it's the Prime Minister's. Prime Minister said it's the reality. Faster urbanization is taking place in the country. So now today's the topic given to me is about smart cities. Smart cities is the flavor of the season, talk of the town. Everywhere people are discussing about smart cities. The popularity of this concept of smart cities goes to suggest how smart this idea is. But this is not my idea. It is the idea of the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. It is a different thing that the idea of developing 100 new smart cities has raised such expectation that everyone is expecting that their own city or town would soon become a Singapore, though not many of them have seen that city. My members of parliament, whenever I go from Lok Sabha to Rajya Sabha, pass through Central Hall, everybody, they have three concerns. One is good seat in parliament, second is good house in Delhi, and the third one is smart city for my constituency. Everyone wants a smart city. The expectations have risen. Friends, nothing wrong in having expectations, as they have right to aspire for a better living, particularly in the context of the present quality of urban life in our country. Expectations have risen, particularly after our Honorable Prime Minister has taken charge. People think that he finds solution for everything, though it's not that much easy. Because from Arunachal Pradesh to Andaman, from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, as if they discussed among themselves through a video conferencing or through an informal meeting, people voted in one pattern because they wanted a decisive leader. Because they suffered on account of policy paralysis. Because they suffered on account of inaction, indecision, and other things. So they thought that here is a person, he will do something. And who used to say Modi means 3D, decisive, dynamic, and development oriented. 3 in 1, that is Modi. So naturally, people's expectations are risen. People want immediate solutions. People want everything to happen. Our friends in opposition started asking in the first session itself. They said prices have not come down. Achhe din kahan hai? As if prices can be brought down within 1 day or 2 days or 10 days. And the second important thing is they held a demonstration in front of my party office. Within 15 days of my party coming to power, they said about power supply. They staged a demonstration in front of my party office. I was surprised. I'm not talking political. Power cannot be generated overnight. And 15 days after coming to power, then you are accusing this new government of power shortage. You have been in power for 10 years and earlier 50 years. No, where is power? Why this shortage? Explain. So then I told them in a normal, my own style, but even if you are enthusiastic or over-enthusiastic, after marriage it takes 9 months to have a child. Try to understand. Even if you work hard also. It's a nature. See, power has to be generated, na? Without generating, how can you distribute power? How can you transmit power? It has to be generated, it has to be transmitted. You are neither generated it nor laid transmission lines. Then how do you distribute it? That's a big issue. So friends, today this situation is the expectations are very high. People want development. There is a hunger for development in every sector. And there are expectations, as I told you about even smart cities also. What is smart city? We'll discuss it a little later. I'm happy that every segment of the society is taking interest in this new concept and discussing it. The Kadai people have called me, the Neredko people have called me, the Economic Times people have called me, the India Today people have called me, the Association has called me, the FICCI has called me. Every organization is calling. They want to discuss about smart cities and all. I'm fine. It will really help me also to understand help me also to understand. I am also trying to understand and learn. In spite of my 40 years of political career, still feel in politics I'm a student. One has to learn. Politicians particularly should learn. That's why I came here to learn from you. Politicians should learn, not earn. Learn is priority. But unfortunately, the perception is otherwise. The power generation that began in the 19th century and consumer electronics industry that emerged in a big way in 20th century has radically changed the way that humanity has come to think and live. With every passing day, human aspirations in their quest for materialistic advancement are soaring high with the attendant positive and negative consequences. I am now running 64. I spent more than 22 years of my early life without power, not the political power, the electrical power. I walked 3 kilometers a day to go to the school, and then I studied under a lantern, a lamp, in my house. There was no power. I have not seen what is electricity and what is a fan and all till I became 22 years old. So that's the situation at that time. But now power is everything, both that power and this power also. People are not able to live without power. Politicians are not able to live with that power, and people are not able to live with this power. Power means electricity. Somebody was saying that you can have a life even without a wife, but you can't have a life without electricity. That's the situation today. Electricity has become very important component of our life, our activity, our growth, our development. So it has become very essential and very key factor in the growth. So friends, but that's why the governments want to focus more on growth, our government particularly. People discuss that we have to distribute wealth, our left friends, they always say, distribute. How do you distribute without creating wealth? Without creating wealth, if you go on distributing the wealth, then you will end up with debt. That is what has happened. The other day, Mr. Chidambaram, on February 24th, while presenting the interim budget, said in Parliament that 43.3% of our Indian revenues goes towards interest repayment. 43.3. And 20 or 22% goes for pensions, salaries and all. Then what else remains?